going to start with a pattern. Hi! And we're going to make it. So, since I have one to go off of, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So you want to have some place to write down what your measurements are. Back of this, I guess. So I'm going to write down the body is 6 1/4 by 8 3/8. One of the things I didn't like is how this part sits when you close it. So I think what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to extend this in here just a little bit so it won't, be so funky in the middle there. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces that size. Now our first pocket comes up to here, but that's going to be covered when I do the back, but we'll get a measurement on it anyway in case you all don't want to do the back. And that would be, we'll call it the large pocket. And that is 6, where did I put a half there? It's a quarter. 6 1/4. And it is by 3 1/2. Times 2. And then the smaller pocket, we're just going to have one of those. You can cut 2. You can have 2 on each side. Doesn't much matter. It's totally up to you. It's a design preference for me. I know when I'm writing, I don't want to have anything getting in my way, so I'm not going to put another pocket over here. So that pocket is one of those, and that one is 6 1/4 by 3 inches. And that's really all the measurements we have. The actual field notes book, in case you're wondering, open is 7 inches long by 5 1/2 tall. Closed, it's 3 1/2 by 5 1/2. So it's not real big. I think a passport is like 5 1/4 by 3 1/4 or some silly thing like that. It's not much different, so it works for both. However, the passport one does not work for the field notes because it's smaller. I did forget on the list of stuff we're going to need a top coat. It's totally up to you what you want to use for a top coat. I will probably use Fiebing's Resolene. I like the shine that it gives, which on a project like this is just kind of nice. So I've got my measurements. I can put this away. I don't want to get it messed up. And now we can start laying it out on our pattern paper. This is just some heavier cardstock. And what I want, I'm just going to go shoot one line that way, one line that way. Now when I flip it the other way, I'll go to my 6 1/4 on this arm, and I got 8 3/8 on the other side. Now, as long as we put those marks on my 6 1/4 and 8 3/8, this should be square. So we got that. Now, since I'm going to do this, I can use this piece for two pieces of the pattern. For this center part, I need to exclude this center part, because so I can get the book in there. So that large pocket was 6 1/4 tall by 3 1/2. So if I set this on 3 1/2, oh, sometimes it's a pain in the butt to use that. Let's break out a regular ruler. I'm just going to go like 3 1/2 here. I'll make another mark down. Oops, that was wrong, because I'm starting over a little bit. Another one you can use as a centering ruler. I have one, I just don't have it out right now. And that actually makes it pretty easy. So I need to go to, that's my 3 1/2. And I'll make a line. We have to do the same from the other side. And up at the top here, the top and bottom, I have to leave some room. At this point, if we try to center the book in there, give us a little better idea, I think. About 3/8 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch. I don't want to go a full 3/8, so I'll probably go a quarter. So we'll take here, come down a quarter, another quarter, same on the other side. I think I was off a little on that. Oh, sure was. So these corners are going to have to be rounded off, because you don't want any hard corners. So we can use the 1/4 inch washer here I think that's going to round, it's going to leave things a little funky. Maybe not. We'll see, I guess. First time I tried it this way. I think we might be okay. Alright, so this will be the outside and the inside pockets. We won't cut out the center section in the one side. The other one will cut out the center section. Make sure you do it right. There's an inside and an outside to the leather. Flesh side and skin side. So you want to make sure to have the flesh side on the back or on the outside. You want the flesh side up. On the inner part, you want the flesh side down. It doesn't matter at this point when we cut it out, just when you assemble it. So we have that. Now we need make another line. Oops, set that aside. Had to make enough room there. Because I need to go that way. So I need this one to be 6 1/4. I need one at 6 1/4 by 3. And then we'll need another one for the optional pocket that I'm not using. 6 1/4 by 3 1/2. And there you go. It's really quite that simple. Done with the square. Hang it back up. Get my cutting mat. And my ruler. Got another ruler around here somewhere. When I'm cutting these out, I use a stainless steel ruler. Plastic rulers can be temperamental. I just have a craft knife. I can still use my other knife. I just like this for cutting patterns out. And apparently, it's dull. One little pointer that I found is when you're lining up to cut, if you make all your cuts from the inside of the project, so this, I'm cutting out this pocket, so I've got my ruler on the inside, your measurements will be much more accurate. Now I'm going to go on this side and we'll cut that line. That was tricky. Which one do you cut from? Doesn't really matter. those are done. So we're gonna small pocket. Field notes. And it is 6¼ inches. I started writing a half again. 6¼ inches by 3 inches. Always mark it. Simplest thing to do, you know what it's for. This is a field note. Large pocket. Six and a quarter by 3½. We'll cut out our body. So this ruler too, the cork backing went to heck on it. I have that sticky tape backing on this ruler as well, because it eliminates that problem from the ruler sliding. Now as for these corners, there's other ways. I mean, let's face it, if you're going to do a lot of these, you're going to want to have something, a better way to do corners than a washer sometimes. This is a 3/8 drive punch. I can just set that right in my corner. Wrap it, and it punches a perfect hole there. I use this mostly for putting in zippers, but it works pretty good for this too. Oh. This is actually probably the best way to cut corners. I use this for zippers. The 3 to 4 ounce 3/8 is a good size for the zippers. On heavier leather, I got to move up to a 1/2 inch. And these things are a bear to sharpen, but I never have had to sharpen it yet. But I do keep it in this little baggie, help a little bit. So the drive punch isn't necessary. You can freehand the corners. And now, just like any other zipper slot, I'm going to go, or any other slot, I'm going to connect side to side, but I'm only going to go halfway from each corner. The reason for that is I don't want to overcut, especially on your leather. And I just keep the habit going even when I'm just cutting out a pattern. And this, like I said, it's probably one of the easier ways to do this. There's other ways, but this works pretty well for me most of the time. And sometimes you might have to clean that up a little bit. And that's what I mean by clean it up. So that leaves our middle part cut out. So one side we're going to do with this cut out and the other one without it cut out. Oops, this goes down here. So the field notes body, and that was 8 3/8. Need to sharpen my pencil. Excuse me for a moment. By 6 1/4. On these pockets, the large pocket, I'm going to put cut 2. The smaller pocket, I'm only going to put cut 1 because that's all I'm going to use. Cut 1. Without. Center cutout. Cut 1 with center. There you go. My instructions are all on there. So now all we have to do is cut it out of the leather. I just wanted to get the pattern done today, and we'll be back with drawing it onto the leather and cutting it out of the leather, and we'll go from there. So part 1. Alrighty folks, y'all stay safe, God bless, we'll catch you in the next one.